Okay, so as you can see, they are shuffling their decks up. Such a unique experience in my opinion, and it's very enjoyable to see how these guys, even though they are in completely different part of the world, Schattenspieler from Germany, of course, and Bohdan in Australia, they're still able to play. And of course, guys, if you also want to try out Remote Duel, you can go on the official website and just check all the infos for it and play with your own friends. We know these are very particular times, but we can always find a way to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! And we must do it. And I honestly think you should try it out. I've also been quite enjoying it with some of my friends. And
yeah, I think we're very fortunate for this period playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like this. And it's a unique opportunity. You can play with friends, you can play like with good players, and you can make up your own tournaments. And I think it's very good. I mean, we are fortunate enough, and I think you should all enjoy like this period. I mean, we have been living tough periods, but we are very fortunate to be here. And
yeah, we have to take the best of what we have, and this is a fantastic way to just showcase the game and have a pretty tough fight, I would say. I like at a regular event or just in general, without knowing them, I would say Bohdan would be the favorite, but Schattenspieler just proved ourselves wrong all over the last event, so I'm very excited to just watch.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him in June, and he was the outsider, let's say, but
yeah, he just took it all. So now we're gonna see some die rolls. I think it's a 6 from Bohdan.
The tie again.
Yeah, this doesn't look too good for Shoton. Let's see.
Oh, they've been rolling it multiple times. So.
Yeah. Okay, so I think now they are gonna decide. I would be very surprised if one of them. Yeah, and as you can see from the gesture, I think Bohdan is gonna be the one to start the match.
Yeah.
So usually, the interesting thing is, as I said, that he doesn't know what his opponent is playing. And in this format, there are a lot of different decks. So in the mirror match, if you play 60, you can actually afford to run multiple entraps. But there are some decks like Invoked, but not only that, even the Salamangreat deck, which play a lot of entraps. So you need to be careful, especially to play around Nibiru. But instead, we have a start from Schattenspieler, and is one of the best ones. So he starts with the Red Eyes, which is gonna allow him to search his deck for Red Eyes Darkness Method Dragon.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, if you haven't been following the game for a long time, got an errata.
Yeah.
And now his effect is only once per turn, even if you summon it multiple times. Something to really pay attention. Oh, but the first hand traps.
Yeah, Bohdan decided to main deck Draw Lock, which is one of the most popular hand traps at the moment. Not only for juggling, but also for matchups like Invoked, as you said before, Dogmatica is very powerful hand traps, also because now Schattenspieler has to deal with it.
Yeah. Luckily for him, if he had the field spell in his deck, he could just form a chain link, so he wouldn't lose the adventure right away. But I think Draw Lock is a weird one. I've seen ends where it completely shuts down the deck, but sometimes, as you can see here, he has the Rocket Quick Spell, so good. So unless there is not another end trap, sometimes you can just see the deck ignoring it, almost tanking his opponent because he's like, you just discarded the card. So
exactly. Yeah, it's up to your hand basically. The more extenders you have, the more plays you can do. And looks like he special summoned the Recharger here.
Yeah. And he's gonna go for a Link Summon.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make Romulus
right away. It's not the Kristen right away because if he went for Romulus, he couldn't add because of Droll. So he's just gonna summon something, a tuner from his deck, and this is what we were talking about. Here, usually you can see the Vion Cube I was telling you guys about, which is a very interesting card that allows you to search your deck for an equip spell. But since Draw and Lock is there, unfortunately, this is not an option anymore. And due to the latest Forbidden Unlimited list, we have seen a lot of powerful tuner monsters actually going to 0, which means now these players add to basically found an alternative in a very short amount of time, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem for them.
Yeah, I think anyway, Schattenspieler looks like he has something to do.
Yeah, he's in control. He just
okay.
activated the field spell and he's gonna summon the rocket from his hand, so...
Oh, he had it already.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Pretty powerful opening right now.
Yeah, now
just
you
like
special summon the Strider Dragon once again, and then you can activate the...
yeah, or even just both guard dragons if he feels like it. So, yeah. Okay, so he just goes for the other Striker Dragon. He's gonna activate LP, and unless he's bluffing a Nibiru, which might be the case, I don't think he is gonna, like Bohdan doesn't have another interruption, you know. So
yeah, doesn't look like that. I mean, Nibiru would be the only one very good in this moment, because I don't see any other way Bohdan could deal with this field, although he had the Duel lock.
as you can see, Bohdan is just looking at the official database, so that he has the effect for the card. And all of you guys as well, if you just have a doubt, or if you just like the smoke grenade, for example, you see that there is an interesting card that allows you to have synergy with equip spell cards. Just go to the official database, look up the equip spell cards, and you might find an hidden gem, just like the smoke grenade. So,
yeah. Let's see now, Schattenspieler.
yeah. Now he's locked to just link someone into a dragon, and he might go for the new. Yeah. So here we have no, I wouldn't call it a very powerful tool, but more of an utility card, which is a generic link shoe that is a dragon, which allows you to just play around the restrictions from the guard dragons.
Exactly.
And here he just go for the Beastie, so he's gonna get back a dragon from his graveyard, potentially using the effect. And here is where you can see how much the errata affected it. In the past, you could have used the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then link away with it and summon it back with Beastie to get even one more summon. Now that's not an option anymore, but this is still looking pretty good from Shoton.
Yeah, exactly. Although Bohdan had the Duel lock, he'd still be able to combo, and also because of his hands. He had multiple extenders in his hand, and now comes the Erratic Seal. So the first interruption for Schattenspieler. Let's see what he decides to do here. Okay, he banished the Tiding for the graveyard. He brings back the Dragon Maid monster.
Yeah, so this is the first, unless he's gonna link away later on, we have a first interruption, which is the Erratic Spheres, and here we see one of the interesting ones, Union Carrier, which is a very powerful link to monsters that allows you to equip a monster from your deck or hand, which has the same, and usually is used for a lock with the Buster Blader synergy. I think the only other time in the history of the game almost we have seen it was back in Necroth, with the Jin, infamous Jin combo, which allowed you to shut down your opponent extra deck, but now we're gonna see the same. He goes for the Savage, which is gonna be even one more interruption, and as I said, he's gonna equip all the way from his deck this very powerful combo. Right now he has basically a bounce with the spheres, he has a negations with the Savage, and his opponent cannot access his extra deck, which we know it's quite a powerful problem.
It's kind of a big deal for this format, and as we said before, one head trap is not enough, although it was drawn lock, and it was able to combo off anyway. And two interruptions, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck, and
really well played here from Schattenspieler. Can Bohdan even come back from this? And it's gonna be tough, and we do know that experienced players sometimes know the route, and when they see that there is no way to win the game, they just scoop it up to, you know, prevent informations. And because to be honest, draw and lock, there are a lot of decks that just could play the card. So
yeah, I mean, I think Bohdan is smart enough to understand if he can really come back into this game, because otherwise I think he would scoop going into game 2 directly. And
yeah, it's quite tough because there is no like if there were no erratic spheres, it would have been easier, but let's see if he can find a way. So he's gonna start it out with the quick launch as well.
Yeah.
It seems like he doesn't really think scooping up is gonna be valuable from him.
Maybe just want to get some more information about his opponent, because maybe he doesn't know him, he just want to see how he plays. But if Schattenspieler is smart enough, I think he has this game won.
Yeah, he just has to, preserve his interruptions well, and I don't think there is much that can go wrong with this. So.
Yeah, really needs to make attention here at the moves. He's in control of the game at the moment. He has one bounce, one negation, and let's see Bohdan. Okay, here we see one of the newest extender, we can say, Noctavision Dragon, which is very, very good. And you can special summon it when a Dragon Monster is normal special summon into your side of the field. And if this card is Link Summon, something that Bohdan cannot do at the moment, you can draw one card.
Yeah, my problem is still there, because sure, you can now force the erratic spheres, but how are you gonna get rid of the extra deck lock?
Yeah, indeed, he's gonna attack over the Savage Dragon, I suppose, just to, I don't know, let's see.
No, he's gonna try and force out the negations, but I'm pretty sure the erratic spheres is gonna come down now.
I mean, he has still the normal summon. He can activate the Rocket Monster. He has some moves, but let's see if he has a plan to deal with the Schattenspieler.
Yeah, Shoton is thinking about the attack. He has a few options. Usually what you want to get from the deck is still the Brotar, which we saw last year European Championship. That card is extremely powerful because it's a resource in the graveyard for later, and it can also get you a Levianeer or some powerful tools that you can use the next turn.
Yeah.
Which is why you can see this deck being one of the best of the format. Your opponent might use an Entrap, or you can combo with Smoke Grenade. Then they need to come back, otherwise they lost. Yeah. And if they came back, there is a very good chance that you got a Levianeer for next turn, which might just be able to get rid of the last cards that they had. And this is just an evolution of one of the decks that were already successful at the last YCS events in person, which was from Shoton. So
yeah, I think this is a sort of evolution, next level deck. Also, what we saw about Matteo Bertolezzi last YCS, he was playing like Dragon Rocket Link deck, and this is a sort of evolution. It's pretty good, but thing is, you actually use all.
I think as we said, the erratic spheres was just not enough from Bohdan to hope. He was locked out of his extra deck, so Schattenspieler once again in advantage. He goes up 1-0 in a match. I think very, very few players would say he had an advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because although we said that Bohdan is a really experienced players, you can't really do that much against this deck nowadays, because if you lose the die roll, you're actually you actually lose the entire match. And but now I think Bohdan can come back at the moment, and
I mean it's quite a close one. It depends on a lot of factors. You can never count out players, and as we say, there are some tools in the main deck to fight back, which are the Entraps, and then in the side decks it becomes even more difficult because you get cards like the Artifact Lancia and a lot of different Gamma. Yeah. There are so many tools that they can use, so the die roll doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. But now Bohdan is, I mean, with this back against the wall, he needs to fight back, and it's not going to be easy, because we just saw how Schattenspieler once again changed his deck, because let's remind everyone that he won the first Invitational with Eldic, so quite a different strategy. It was much more of a control deck with a lot of traps, and now playing a deck that has basically 0 traps, just playing with monsters and a few spells to combo out. So
yeah, he likes to play combo deck anyway. We've seen him playing Judge Synchron, which was forbidden with the forbidden list. But something really good about this list is that you actually can build your deck with a lot of end traps, which are the new traps, let's say, for the entire format.
And if anyone just joined, you can see on the right of the screen that it says top 16, and just like a regular top 16, it is direct elimination. So if Bohdan loses another game, he is just unfortunately out of this tournament, meaning Australia didn't actually get to show the world that he can compete against the other European players.
Yeah.
So it would be a shame, to be honest. I don't really have a favorite here, but I don't know. I have, as I said, different feelings. I want to see the only Australian player do well, but at the same time, it would be such a cool story if Schattenspieler could just prove everyone and win another event in a row. So.
Yeah, also because Bohdan is a very experienced player. We have seen him playing multiple YCSs and topping them, and
yeah,
maybe he can come back. Let's see where he goes right now with this game too.
Yeah, the side decks are also like similar. As you said, we are probably just gonna see more Anthrops. I would be surprised if Bohdan was to side too many cards, because usually you want to just start the duel.
Yeah.
But maybe he goes into a next level game, side in all of his Anthrops and make his opponent go first. Let's see if he is brave or maybe crazy enough. And let's start with game 2. So. Counting his cards for his opponent just one more time. This is just within the procedure that you should have when playing a remote duo. And not sure why. Yeah, as you can see, Bohdan got confused for a moment and rolled his dice again. But unfortunately, he lost so quickly, I guess, against Schattenspieler that he forgot that game 1 was already over.
Yeah, I think he now decides to go into game 2.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the end. Okay.
I think Bohdan will be the first one.
Yeah, so now they see... Yeah, it definitely seems like Bohdan is gonna start. No surprise there. A lot of ways that you can actually open. The one from Shoton was the best, although he opened the field spell. Ooh, and 1 for 1 comes down.
And he discards the white throws.
Okay, so now, is there gonna be a response?
No response.
Doesn't seem so. And you usually get the red dice here, right?
Exactly.
It's one of the best starters from the deck. Shoton was unfortunate enough to open the rocket field spell, but if you don't get it, it's such a huge advantage, and Droll is not even effective against it. Okay, nice opening.
Yeah.
Very nice opening here. We're gonna see a Linked Shoe, which is not that usual actually.
Usually go for Striker Dragon first. Maybe hard drew the field spell. Yeah, it goes for...
Okay, no, it's interesting. I actually like it. So he's playing around Droll and Lock, and he thinks that getting a card from Romulus is more important. He probably doesn't have a rocket in his hand. Yeah. So what he's saying is, I'd rather just resolve the Romulus, and then if he draws, I cannot get the field spell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if he had the rocket in his hand, he probably would have just done the opposite thing.
Yeah, the standard call.
But I really like this from Bohdan. It shows he has quite some knowledge, and differently from Schattenspieler, he's actually known for playing combo decks. Like every time he tries to play a combo deck, and I mean, in the past he has been quite successful. So he now got the Dragonity Lance and the Red Eyes. No Droll and Lock or interruption from Shoton right now, so he's gonna just go all of his way up.
Schattenspieler doesn't have any hand traps, he's just gonna showcase the entire deck.
Yep. He's gonna get the Phalanx now, which you can use in different ways. Since it's a tuner, sometimes you use it to make the Kriston. Otherwise, it's also a dragon, so it's the perfect card for the deck, because it is fodder for pretty much all of your extra deck, but you can use it as a tuner as well.
Yeah, I think Bohdan just wants to play around hand traps.
Okay, now he he's gonna go for the link cross probably. Yeah. So link cross, another powerful tool. It allows you to use a link to just make 2 tokens, which you cannot use to link summon. But we just said that and saw that the Kriston engine is so good. Ooh, but
he hard drew the phalanx, which is one of the worst to draw actually.
Okay.
I mean, he can combo anyway. Now he can go into Metal Marcher.
Or yeah.
Yeah, he goes into Metal Marcher. He can bring back. Let's see. I think the phalanx.
Yeah, the phalanx makes the most sense. And now it's just free to do whatever he wants. Sometimes you just see the Herald here to play around Nibiru, and I would be surprised if Bohdan didn't go for this. Yeah, as you can see here is just the perfect setup. You play the Herald, and you try to just lock down your opponent from having Nibiru. And I don't think you're scared of anything else now.
Exactly.
So Bohdan can do a better combo than the one Shoton did last game. He's gonna figure out the best way to do it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's completely free to do whatever he wants. And I think now he can go into Crystal Needle Fever. Let's see if he special summoned the Kriston or the Striker Dragon before. Okay, he goes for the LP.
Yeah, LP comes down. And ooh, he hard drew the Levianeer. Wow, that's one way to start the game. Is he gonna go for the Dark Monsters? Seems so. So one more card from Schattenspieler is gonna go back to the deck. A really fortunate opening. He's only running the 1 copy of the card. So you usually search it, as we said the last game, with the Brotor. Okay, and now we go for a follow-up. Doesn't seem, I mean, you can pretty much see the, unless he is a genius at bluffing, Shoton shouldn't have a response, just from his body language. Okay, yeah, as we said, we're gonna see, since he's locked into summoning dragons, this new tool. Now LP effect is gonna come down. What does he think he goes for here?
By the moment that he still didn't summon the Striker Dragon, I suppose he has the field spell in his hand. I mean, at this point, I don't expect Schattenspieler having any hand traps, so I think he can go into the Kriston as soon as he can, and then he could go into Savage Dragon at the end of the combat with Hieratic Seal as well.
So no surprise, he go for the Brotor. He hard drew the Levianeer, so we're probably gonna see something else. He might get to one of the Collapse Serpent dragons. Instead, he goes for the Rocket. So maybe he also hard drew the field spell. He still is able to just now get it to his end.
Yeah,
makes the most sense to me. He didn't go for the Striker Dragon yet, and
yeah, as he did at the beginning of the combo, he didn't summon the Striker Dragon, so I suppose he has the field spell, and then he can special summon the Rocket from his hand.
And as you can see, he banished the card because the Herald is there, so any card from the end right now is gonna be banished or deck. Yeah, here the Striker should come down. He can also go for Pisty if he feels like, but yeah, Striker Dragon comes down. Really clear and clean here from Bohdan. He gets the field spell. At this point, he's gonna just special summon the Rocket Monster he added with Brotor. And that is usually the part of the combo where you try and destroy your smoke grenade with.
Exactly.
But I would doubt that he can get to that point. Link summon one more. I don't even think he used the red eyes yet. Am I wrong?
Think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he has it in his hand, so this is not gonna be over anytime soon. And
I think he doesn't even need it for.
Yeah, maybe he just holds it. As you can see, he's just counting what he can do. We saw some players even using Skuldred Saruya.
Yeah.
Which is probably more of a win more card, you know, not Yeah, but he goes for the red eyes, so...
Yeah, I understood that his opponent doesn't have any end traps at this point, also because he has the Herald.
So he's gonna go for Union Carrier here, I would say, yeah. No surprise, very clean from Bohdan, so he is essentially gonna return the favor, but make even a better combo because he's gonna end on the Herald as well. And last game, Shoton had the Draw and Lock as a card discarded from his hand. Bohdan discarded in a way one with Levian here. Quite an impressive. I would say he didn't even hesitate that much, right?
He played really well. He played around end traps, as you said before, without going into Striker Dragon as turn one play.
But now the big difference, I would say, from last game is that we are in game 2. There are side deck cards, and on top of my head there is Dark Ruler No More, for example. A very powerful tool that is gonna shut down pretty much all the cards from Bohdan outside of the lock from the extra deck. So the goal would basically be to have the Dark Ruler No More and then find a way to get rid of the extra deck lock, which is doable.
It's doable, yeah.
So, but he doesn't need that. There are other cards like the triple tactics, which is also quite a way to come back to the board. But let's see. Schattenspieler draw. Oh, and he just picks up his cards. Okay. So, unfortunately, it seems like he also opened a combo end. So this is quickly gonna go to game 3. It's 1-1. And the score are even. Whoever is gonna win the next match, we are gonna come back with him tomorrow. So he advances to day 2 and to the top 8. The loser, unfortunately, is gonna be out of the tournament. But this is just the first match of the day. We have a lot more to show. We have 8 matches in total today, the entire top 16. Just by looking at this, do you think we are gonna see a similar game where whoever goes first is able to combo off?
Well, actually, I don't know, because we haven't seen any players having multiple hand traps, which means that you can stop your opponent by making his combo. So let's see if Bohdan is fortunate enough to see, I don't know, like maybe Gamma and another hand trap would be enough, because only one is not enough, guys.
I have to say I do like the side deck from Bohdan slightly more than the one from Schattenspieler. He has a lot of tools, because usually Bohdan is the type of player that figures out what the best deck is, he plays it, and I would say he has some extreme deck building choices in the way that he feels the other decks are just worse and that he can beat them, and he focuses on beating the mirror match, which is something that we can see in his deck. His side is mostly, he has a few cards for the rogue matchups, like the Feather Duster, but the rest of his side deck is almost entirely dedicated to the mirror match.
Yeah, I think he has been playing a lot of mirror matches during the past few days, and it's not easy, as we said before. Also because these decks are focused on the combo, and if you don't see any hand traps, things are gonna get complicated for Bohdan, but hopefully we will see some.
The thing is, I mean, if you're playing a deck like Salaman Great, or one of my favorites, which is the Invoked Dogmatica, which we are surely gonna see later on, those decks are able to play the game with just 1 or 2 cards. The rest of the end can be end traps or tech cards that you side in for this matchup. But when you're playing a combo deck, sure, you can still combo with very few cards, but they need to be pretty specific. So usually combo decks are not allowed to side that many cards, and this is definitely the case for the mirror match, which makes it quite complicated. So gonna be interesting to see who is gonna have the lead, and some side deck choices again from Schattenspieler, because something that you do see quite often once you are in game 2 from the mirror match is maybe the player going first sides end traps in because he's afraid of his opponent stopping him, but then he breaks by drawing those end traps. So if you're brave enough, you just don't side going first. Let's see who is gonna decide on which approach to take. I would say they are both reasonable, but both risky at the
I
same
think
time.
I will keep Gamma anyway going first. I think it's the only reasonable one to let stay in a deck.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It's not an easy answer, I would say. Usually these types of decision, at least from popular opinion, are result based,
Yeah.
which is something that I hate because sure they are important, but you cannot judge the righteousness of a decision just by one game alone. Anyway, I think they are almost done, so this is gonna be the last 5 cards or 6 for one of these two players, unfortunately. Is it gonna be Schattenspieler or is it gonna be Bohdan? We're just minutes away from finding out. Okay.
So it goes with the Parlor, which is the Dragon Maid Parlor here.
Yep.
Once it's normal or special summon, you can send one spell or trap card, or also a Dragon Maid card from your deck to the graveyard, which is pretty good. And you send the Tiding, and you can banish the trap card from your graveyard to bring back one Dragon Maid monster from your graveyard as well.
Ooh, but this is also interesting. Is he playing around Droll here by not using the Striker, or did he open the field spell? You know, these are just a lot of mind games that you have. Probably, I would say playing around Droll, because maybe he just saw Bohdan doing it last round and he learned something new. You never know. I don't want to take anything away from Schattenspieler, of course, but maybe you never know. I mean, it happened to me as well to just play against a very good opponent and learn a new move I just stole from them later on. And as you can see, this is a very good opening by Shoton. It doesn't take too much to open well with this deck, and it's gonna be entirely up to his opponent to stop him now.
Yeah, I didn't activate Striker at the beginning just because you wanted to be, to prevent Bohdan to activate the draw lock, but here seems completely fine. He goes with Metal Marcher, and let's see if, okay, Bohdan doesn't have any response here. Let's see if he has Nibiru. Or
does he have Nibiru? Ooh, he does.
Yes.
He does.
Yeah.
So Nibiru comes down from Bohdan, and
best
wow.
one here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the moment. The next summon would have been the Herald.
Yeah.
Just like we saw with Bohdan, at that point you pretty much locked from using Nibiru for the rest of the turn. So they are just gonna do some quick math to decide the value of the token. But now it's tough because the Dragon Maid engine, for example, Bohdan is not really using it. Because as you can see, it used your normal summon.
Yeah.
So does Schattenspieler have a way to continue? Or this could be game winning from Bohdan.
Yeah, because if he doesn't have any other extender here, he also uses normal summon, and let's see if he has another extender in his hand.
Okay, it seems like he does because he's not, like he's going through some cards. Is it gonna be good enough? And here maybe there is a potential that the decision to play around roll comes back to haunt him. Okay, he does have the quick launch, great one. But as you can see, by playing around roll lock, he could have had the field spell in his hand right now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is still pretty good. He can go now for the Kristen. I would be surprised if they didn't. Let's see. And yep. Okay, so one of the best ways to just keep comboing off here from Schattenspieler.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be able to combo off, not as well as he was in the past. Ooh, wow.
Changes a lot. Okay, also these cards lands.
This changes a lot, absolutely. This is one of my favorite cards. We all know how good, as you can see, the Collapse Serpent and Wyver Buster were in the previous formats. And now with the Chaos, you have a way to basically just search for them. And not only that, you can recycle one of them and draw a card.
Yeah.
Which is such a powerful interaction. Again, maybe one of the cards you consider siding out because of draw and lock, I would say. But Shoton was brave enough to keep them in after siding, and he got rewarded for it because this is gonna be just as good as it was ever gonna be for him.
Yeah, I think it was the card that I really wish he wanted to have in this moment because it was the best card. Also because now he can shuffle back the he call up Serpent from the graveyard and he draws another card. So
Yeah.
it's really good.
Definitely really strong play. We also, yeah, I mean, we have to consider that, as you said, he discarded the artifact Lancia, but he still had a card in his hand.
Yeah.
So there is an option that he has just a second copy, which would shut down completely Bohdan next turn. Because I'm really curious to see what he kept in his hand. Because if he was able to just combo off, I would be surprised if he kept another combo card.
Yeah.
Let's see. From here, yeah, you just go for the other dragon, and once that's banished, you go for the zone. You shuffle it back and draw a card. Such a cool card. I really, really like it. Because now with the Viper Buster, you also get to search it for next turn.
Yeah.
So it's basically as if which one of the two you add, the other, you essentially have two copies in your deck instead of just the 1/1. Now he special summons the Brotor, he gets the Levianeer, I would say, from the deck. Yep, no surprises there, so he can get rid of yet another card from Bohdan end. And this is looking incredible from Schattenspieler.
Yeah, he was able to come back after the Nibiru, which was impressive.
Yeah.
And we only a couple of cards, and I think here we're going to see another Erratic Seal with Savage and the standard lock.
Seems like very sure. I mean, this is the beauty, I would say, and also what makes this deck so scary. As you can see, Bohdan had the Nibiru, arguably one of the best cards he could have had there, but it might not be enough for him. And the problem now is that unless his opponent gets rid of it, he's also shut down from using cards like evenly if he added Dark Ruler no more as well,
Yeah.
is a problem. So
Yeah, things are not gonna be easy for Bohdan here.
yeah, you can always just attack over the Erratic Spheres next turn, but
Yeah.
then he loses the battle phase, and if Union Carrier comes down later on during this turn, then that means doesn't have a way to get rid of the lock. Yeah, and Union Carrier does come down here. He gets the Collapse Serpent shuffle back, which is gonna be a nice tool for next turn, if there is gonna be a next turn. And as you can see, what's funny about this type of mirror match is that we have only seen one turn each from each players, but there are only 5 minutes remaining in the round, which means on average they were comboing off for more than 10 minutes each round. So, and to be honest, they are both playing at a very, very reasonable speed. It's just that this deck has so many moves available, so... Yeah, no surprises. Levianeer comes down. He's gonna shuffle something back from Bohdan. Probably a die roll involved. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So one card is shuffled back, and now Bohdan only has 4 cards remaining with his draw phase to fight back, and unless Schattenspieler was brave enough to side out the extra deck lock, we are just gonna see the same as game 1 with the Savage, and then the extra deck lock. He couldn't get the Herald to stick, but outside of that, such an impressive opening.
Yeah, I mean, well played by Schattenspieler. His entire field was shut down by Bohdan's Nibiru, but he was able to come back.
Yeah, I mean, the only very interesting thing I can see happening is if they don't pay too much attention to the clock. But I think, yeah, as you can see, I think he's pretty much done. Yeah. So he's done. I was just worried that maybe Schattenspieler would get ahead of himself and just keep combo for like 2 minutes. And at that point, maybe Bohdan can just summon a monster and deal some damage and win in time. But that, I don't think is going to be the case. Only 4 cards for Bohdan. Is he going to find a way to come back? Also, we still have... a card that is unknown in Schattenspieler hand, And since he discarded the Lancia, there is a chance that that card is actually the second copy of Artifact Lancia.
Yeah,
or
I
just
think was smart enough, as you said before. He maybe has another hand traps, maybe a Lancia, maybe something else.
Oh, okay. So he goes for the White Rose.
Yeah, I think he wants to push some damage here. At least he wants to try. Also because he might understand there's some time left on the round.
Yeah, absolutely. The time is probably his most reasonable win condition at this point. But if Shoton is really next level, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. He can. Oh, okay, very well played. This is exactly what I was saying. He's very smart here to just use the Heroic Spheres to bounce back his own monster. This is a very, very nice play. I really like it by Shoton. And at this point, I don't think there is much that Bohdan can do.
Yeah, I mean, very well played by Schattenspieler. He understood that Bohdan wanted to deal some damage in this spot, and there's not really much that Bohdan can do. He can enter into the battle phase, but...
Yeah. I'm quite impressed, I gotta say. This is not your average play. This is, I mean, something that sure, maybe some of the best players can recognize, but I gotta say I keep getting impressed by Schattenspieler. Now Bohdan just crashes his Nibiru into the Savage. But not sure what's happening there. Yeah, I think he's attacking and then thinking about it. Because the Savage gets the attack from the Kristen equipped. Let's see what they are gonna argue here. So there is only a minute remaining. I'm sure that if they are just gonna check out some sort of stuff, we can just rewind back to the minute left. But there should be enough time. And also, as a reminder, this is direct elimination. So there are no possible draws, unfortunately, happening. Even though we would enjoy to see more of these two guys later on in the tournament, a draw cannot happen. So if in Top Cut a similar situation is bound to happen, we go turn by turn.
Yeah.
So it would be Bohdan who has the rest of his phase and then of his turn. And then Shoton has an entire turn to just try and deal some damage to his opponent. Let's see.
Yeah, they're just clarifying.
Maybe they're just asking about the attack from the Savage. Probably some translations involved. Because as you can see, we can probably bring it up for you guys if needed. But yeah, I think there is not much to be said as we just had a clarification about the attack from his opponent monster. And if there is no confusion about what's happening whatsoever, Schattenspieler should be the winner from our match, convincingly taking it down 2-1. And we should go just back to us for the post-match discussion.